Oh, so I've covered the extent of my free speech now as endowed to me by Stockton Mental Health, Stockton police officers, and the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Department. Of course, from the beginning, everything's been a frame and conspiracy. I've committed no crime. I have been arrested and detained for committing no crime, and I have had needles stuck in me involuntarily and chemicals injected into my system for committing no crime. But the fullest extent of my freedom of speech as a result of what they've done to me is the following. I haven't covered all of it. I don't know why. Probably the sleep deprivation. It's not my mind isn't as attuned as it usually is. So, and probably after, I'm used to studying all the time, having a dictionary, a thesaurus open, and just my vocabulary is massive. When you're sitting in jail, you don't have all that stuff. I did try to. I got a dictionary, and I looked up words, and I learned words while I was in jail, too. I kept going. But the memory loss is severe now from the sleep deprivation. However, here are my fullest free speech rights now. Now, on my Facebook page, on one of my Facebook pages, I've covered a flaw. Well, Facebook's just terrorism and their treason. It's treachery, treason, terrorism. Some federal court or judge said that they have this power and this right over our citizens and civilians in our country. They don't. That federal court and those judges or that judge is guilty of treason as well, and they should be put to death. They don't have those rights. It's that serious. Death penalty. Just kill them. They don't have power over the civilians and citizens of our country here. We have free speech, and the only way that we can ever have that speech limited is when it comes into conflict with a law. And having a public diary or just expressing yourself in a public forum in a non-criminal way, which you think you'd have the right to do. I can just talk about whatever I want here. And then having that limited or restricted by some corporation that goes, we make up whatever we want and we restrict and limit your rights and put rules on it. Hell, we'll have a Facebook police officer come out and arrest you and call himself a Stockton peace officer because of something that was on Facebook or YouTube. That's a violation of our constitutional rights. You can't even do that here as a service. I mean, that's like saying that I can just open up a store and start telling people what they have to do or say. It's like they walk in and they buy whatever they want, and I can't discriminate against anybody until they violate a law. So they went and gave these corporations these superpowers. It's not just corporate personhood, it's corporate country and statehood. They become the federal government. And then there's no law, it's just anarchy. They can do whatever they want and impose anything everywhere. Whoever uses my service can't do this regardless of what country you're in. But the Supremacy Clause says only our laws in our land. So whether you're providing a service or not, that's operating here. Okay, well then you can't do that. So the most they can do is a word filter to protect these little weenie sissy boys or girls, whoever they are, from getting their feelings hurt. Okay, well then don't look at the word. But here are the fullest extents of my freedom of speech. I can now say that because they've illegally removed my Second Amendment right. I've never even owned a weapon, nor ammunition. They've illegally removed my Second Amendment right like 4 or 5 times now. They told me that I got arrested for saying that people die, and part of those were police officers. So I can now say this. I can say this. Look, if they don't die, then I can say to kill them. That's not a criminal threat. So now I can say that, I was trying to get around this thing, and I figured it out. I've done this a few different ways, and I was like, well, can I shoot them in the head? Can I use a non-lethal weapon? Because we have to worry about great bodily harm. They don't die. I don't know who's going to prosecute you in the aftermath if you end all of their earthly bodies. But I was getting over the great bodily harm, and you could do that, and you could sleep deprive them to death. You can inject them with a chemical, something, just hide it. Now sleep deprivation is really good. Heart attack. They just had a heart attack. You can get as long as nobody knows, that's the key. You can get a heart attack gun and just shoot them all with it and kill them all, give them a massive heart attack. They don't die, of course, but you know what I'm getting at. So they don't die. Whatever happened, it can't be homicide. They don't die. And there no longer be any great bodily harm because nobody knows what happened. All you have to do is hide it. That's the key. Well, then what happened? They just had a heart attack. Well, we don't even know that their life was ended, or gee, how do you get around that? It's like they're humanly bodies. So now I was considering shooting them in the head with a gun. Well, we can shoot all of them in the head with a gun. Now, not everybody can do this, but I can. The reason I can say this, now doing it's another thing. That's when I have to get past the great bodily harm. Now, my freedom of speech almost knows no extent now because I'm not allowed to legally go buy a firearm and ammunition. For what reason, I don't know. They just made up all this crap and framed me and conspired against me, and they keep going. And they don't die. So here's what I can do. It's like, well, I can go down, then I can say this. I'm going to go down to a gun shop. Okay, SPD and Sheriff's Department, are they listening? I hope they are. I hope they watch these videos too. And all the doctors. I'm killing all of them. So I'm going to go down because I can say this. I'm going to go down to a gun shop and I'm going to buy a weapon and ammunition and I'm going to shoot all of them in the head and end their lives. I'm killing all of them. So I'm going to tell them, I'm saying who I'm going to do it to. All of the doctors, all the mental health staff and the mental health judges, all the judges in Stockton. Every single judge in the state in this, can I go with the state? You know what? Every judge in the country. But to keep it simple, since it happened here, every single judge in Stockton and San Joaquin County, I'm going to shoot in the head and kill with a gun that I bought at a weapons supplier, a legal one, and with ammunition I bought from them too. And all the police officers in Stockton and San Joaquin County, I'm getting a gun and I'm going to shoot every single one of you in the head and kill you. So that's who I'm doing it to. I mean, for a credible criminal threat, let's see, we need the plan. We got to know what's he going to use. Like, let's see. I'll just get like a Ruger or something. Can I buy one of those legally? I'll get a pistol. Do I have to name the exact one here? I'm going to get a pistol. And I'm going to purchase the ammunition for the pistol. Maybe it's 9mm or something. And I'm going to, you got to have the plan, you got to have the weapon you're going to use, and then you have to name off who you're going to do it to. And you don't have to name the date. You can. That's not a requisite because you could just have a plan that's undated and it's a credible criminal threat because you might do this and we have to prepare for it. So, but a date helps. I mean, that really puts you away. So I was like, well, how long will that take? Then I'm going to do this in like 6 months. In 6 months' time, let's see. This is real, okay? So what is it now? June? We're in June 21st, the first day of summer solstice. So 6, 12, December 21st, I am going to have a pistol, 9mm rounds. I'm going to buy them from a gun shop. And I'm going to kill all the judges in Stockton, and I'm just going to begin killing all the police officers, SPD and the Sheriff's Department, and all the doctors at 1212, and all of their mental health staff. Fuck them. I'm killing every single one of them. So that's all you need for a credible criminal threat. So I've done that, and I go, now, well, technically that would qualify, except for the part where they said, we don't die, and you can't own a weapon because you never did. So they don't know what to do with me because I'm smarter than all of them. So when it comes to their mental health staff that follows absolutely no law in the state or the country, what they'd love to do is just designate, delegate, or denote this over to mental health. Here, we can do something in mental health. He has followed the law again. And when I get in there and I go like, gee, now what do I do, Miss Schwarzenberg, to defend myself here? It's not a credible criminal threat. Gee, I followed the law again, but I'm under arrest by a Stockton peace officer for freedom of speech. It all makes sense, but she's going to tell me it doesn't. So I just agree. I just agree. Fine. You're right. Nobody dies. And I am going to get a weapon from a gun shop and kill people. It's credible. Wait a second. Was that right? Okay, now you do die. Okay, if it's a credible criminal threat, they're saying they die now. Well, would mental health get this straight? So if it's a credible criminal threat, if they decide this now, well, that means that they all die. They actually do die. And that I can go buy a weapon and ammunition from a gun shop. What? It's just a mental health crime. What are those? What the hell is a mental health crime? We arrest you for anything. way, take this medicine. It does something. We're not telling you what, but I guess it was supposed to delete your YouTube video. Nope, that's still up. Maybe the Facebook post, that's still up. What does this medicine do that they keep injecting me with and forcing me to take every time that I follow the law? It hasn't changed my mind. It seems like, what is happening here? I can say whatever the hell I want now. I can just walk up to somebody and say it to them on the street and they can't do anything. Go for it, dude. I'm going to go buy a gun down here at this gun shop and ammunition and shoot you in your head. This guy's going to call SPD out and I'm going to be like, you guys you took my Second Amendment right away. I can't possibly do that. It's not a credible criminal threat. And they're going to be like, go down to mental health. I'm like, well, you guys arrested me for saying people don't die, and you made me sign a paper to take away my Second Amendment rights, so you know this is an incredible criminal threat. Now, how can this be mental health? I'm right about everything. And then a judge is going to sit down and go, you can't be. And I'm like, okay, so Schwarzenberg, what do we do? I just agree. Okay, last time, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, so last time, let's see, Dr. Graff told me the same thing. My pursuit of happiness is gone. Or if I do have it, it's in being wrong, not right. Because being right makes me happy. He said you can't do that. Those are mutually excluded. It's one or the other, bud. It's a false dichotomy. I'm a master of dichotomies. I'd know better. So there it is. Those are my fullest free speech rights now in the state of California, the city of Stockton, the county of San Joaquin. The only thing impeding it is mental health, and I don't know what their argument's supposed to be. He's lawfully correct. We can arrest him again and stick him with needles or put him in a hospital for following the law and be like, well, can I have this explained to me? Well, by law, you've done all of this. This is criminal law. That's the only thing that matters, which means you created this by transgressing that to begin with. And because you did that, I can now just walk up to people on the street and go, I'm going to go down to this gun shop down here and buy ammunition and a weapon and shoot you in the head. I don't have to tell them anything else. They can call the police, and the police officer comes out and goes, it's not a credible criminal threat, bud. I have no Second Amendment right. Plus, people don't die. I can definitely say it to police officers, judges, congressmen, presidents. I could probably even do it because they don't die. Well, I don't know. Someone's got to explain this to me. I don't make sense, so I'd like this female judge to explain this to me. That's what she told me. You don't make sense. I cited that. My federal First Amendment right, and I have an Article 1, Section 2 right in the state of California to publish my sentiments on any topic whatsoever. Any sentiments, whatever my sentiments may be, I've got free speech in so much that I don't commit a crime. She told me that doesn't make sense. So I'd just like to know what does. That's an honest question. I know I'm a genius and I've boggled my mind and I keep going over this and I'm just like, I don't know which direction I'm supposed to go in here, trying to follow the law and be a good law-abiding citizen and my civil liberties and mental health. So what is it that makes sense? If that doesn't make sense, what is it that does? You guys don't die. Fine. And I committed a crime. I'll just say the opposite of everything that I said. Okay, I have no federal First Amendment right. I have no Article 1, Section 2 right, and you people don't die. You're absolutely right. Gee, I mean, how do you get out of that? They gave me a public defender, though.